Good morning, everybody. SoCal Saber Bill Thornton here, and today I'm going to be giving you a short demo of the Gridiron Wars football game. But before we get started in that, real quickly, some real quick news. Check this channel this morning, and we have 300 subscribers. Amazing! Thank you very much. Also, in the I'm going to put a link in there, so if you haven't seen it before, check out my culling and free game giveaway. I'll put the link to that video in there. Okay, here we go. This is Gridiron Wars. Let's go down here, take a look, and see what we got here. Excuse me. I'm going to show you everything that comes with the game, then do a little bit of a video. There are 5 dice, 5d6s that come with the game. Okay, I throw in another one, which I'll explain to you in a little while. There's a set of cards that if you're playing multiplayer, two-person game, where you would use the cards to hide what you're going to be doing next, and the defense would be hiding what they're going to be doing next. And then you flip it over, play to play. But I doubt if I'll ever get to use these things, because I'm mostly a solo player. So I'll put them away for right now. Also, there's a deck of cards called the timing deck. Okay, and there's 2 ways to keep time. It's on the score sheet. There's little things you can check off. For 30 plays per quarter, they actually come to more than 30 plays. You check off 1 for each. There's 30 of them, 1 for each play, and then you only check off a half if it's like an incomplete pass, a play that goes out of bounds, or the way I play it too is if and you don't check off any for any kicks. But I also play a half a play, like say it's a 10-yard touchdown pass. Well, then the clock is stopped, so I only do it half on examples like that. But you would flip them over. There's normal plays in here. Let me see if I can find. There's foul checks or penalty checks. Foul, I'm thinking basketball. I'm trying to see where I can get this where you can see it. There's a penalty check system, which I'll show to you. Then there's the out-of-bounds plays. And the normal plays where you check off. So apparently, I don't use this because it requires me to flip another card. But if you use this system to check time, when the deck runs out, the quarter's over. I think there's more than 30 in there. But then you wouldn't have to do the checking off on the score sheet. I'll show you the spot when I show you a score sheet later. So I'm not going to use those today either, so we'll put them away so you know that they came. There are 2 rule books, our standard rule book, and then there's also a advanced rule book, and I ordered the facts, so I got a fact rule book also. Now, charts. Don't get scared away on this first part. I'm going to show you the facts in a little bit later. Okay, you have a kickoff table. And then you have a kickoff, onside, squib, fumble, return, and intern chart. This is the kickoff table chart here, I'm sorry. This is the kickoff return chart on this side. So I put them inside of one of these things. Then you have a punting table. You can see there's different colors, and the purple down in the means the yardage, but no return, like a fair catch. Sorry for the glare on these plastics. Then on the back you have a punt return table, so I put them together. You have a passing table to see if the pass was complete. There's a possibility in the blue sections that the quarterback could be sacked. They're numbered Z through A across the top, and 11 through 66 down on the left and right. Now this chart, you also got a fumble table. You'll be checking for fumbles. Then the red on the bottom is a possible interception. Once the pass is complete, you'll flip it over. You'll determine who it was completed to. Then go to this chart here to determine the yardage. Then you have a breakaway table. See all those light colored blues in the top right and everything, those are breakaways. Okay. Then you have a rushing table. It's only one of them. If it's a rusher, you determine, if it's a running game, you determine who the runner is. You go to this table to determine the game. And then there's a breakaway table on this one also. But not a lot of breakaways on the running one. 66 is the only one down there. Okay, then you got a chart for, I guess for solo play. And you're rolling your dice. You can do it, if you roll 3 dice, over here it would be, you would select your offensive play. Okay, say it's first down, you throw a 32, it'll be a run, and then maybe the other dice was a 4, and they'd be playing normal defense on first down. There's pass, normal, key, and blitz, and then there's modifications to their abilities based on what it is. I use this a lot. I'll explain this to you later. There's also a way in the rules they suggest if you're playing solo that you call the offensive plays for both teams, and then the 1 dice to determine the defense if you're playing solitaire. I have played that. That works pretty good too, but I haven't played it as much as I've played this way. So I'll probably do that way in the future a little bit more. Now on the back, we have a penalty chart. Okay, so then you check the penalty, roll 2 dice, you get 52. And it'll say 0-2, it means it's an offensive penalty. And if the team is rated 0-2 or below 0-2, it'll be a pass interference, whatever the type of play it was. If they're rated an 0-1, which is the best, and then it would be no penalty there. Okay, I probably will make some mistakes in this, so well, you got some charts that I have never used. Okay, you got advanced charts and super advanced charts for play calling. This one here gets a little bit better. You can call a bomb, a long, a medium, or short passes. Interceptions the same way. Rushing is rush or breakaways. Then there's super advanced. On the back of it, there's more defensive balance. So these are a little bit different than the one I showed you before. Next chart I'm going to show you is more defensive play for the advanced charts. I'll put them over here because I'm not going to be showing you those today. And the last thing you get is a play chart. You know, the board for your downs, and then this is timing if you want to use this. Oh, no, this is scoring up here. This is timing if you want them to use it down here. I'm not real keen on this chart. I have used it for yardage and first downs, but I'm looking all over. I'd like to upgrade the board for this one. So if anybody has any ideas for a recommendation for upgrading the board, please let me know out there. For the time being, I'm going to put this defensive calling chart inside of this plastic over here. Set it up right here. As you can see inside of there, I made myself another little chart to help, because all of this stuff is in text, so I did it with the pluses and minuses. Okay, now I ordered the 1994 set. My first project with this game is going to be the 1994 Buffalo Bills replay. So I'll show you all of the teams came, the whole entire season teams came, and they all have their individual charts. And up on the top here, they have a lot of their ratings for fumble loss, penalty ratings, defensive ratings. All of this stuff comes into play when you're figuring out things in there. But on the players, okay, like here, this is Russian. Here's Thurman Thomas. He has a range of 43. So if it's a run play and I throw like 2 dice and it's 41, it'd be a Thurman Thomas. But if it was a 44, it would go to the next guy, Kenneth Davis, and so forth on down the line. Over here, they have 2 different ratings in them. This is like he's an 0-12. Okay, the number 1 only comes into use when you're playing with the facts. This one comes into use when you're playing with the charts. One of the first things I don't like is they had to change their systems in mid-season. Then you have their breakaway abilities and their fumble ratings. Same way down here with the receivers. Okay, now down here, passers, we got Kelly. We got his rating, H, and he's a 19. He's an I1, which is the best interception rate. He's a sack 2, which is the best of sack 1. Then he's got a fumble rate and a percentage 83. Then you have your kickers, your punters, punt returns, and kick returns. When you're looking at the ratings, A is the best, okay? Z is the worst. And so that's you're going to have to remember the alphabet, or have a chart that you labeled, they typed out all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because throughout the entire game, these ratings are affected by what's happening in the game. I'll show you those things in a couple minutes. Okay, so what I got up here on the board right now is I got the 84 New England Patriots, and or 94 Patriots and 94 Bills. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a kickoff. Pretty simple, okay? And we're gonna say the Bills are kicking off. Go over here. Their kicker, Steve Christie, his kickoff rating is a B. So we would roll 2 dice. It's 53. Then we go down here to 53, and you go over to the B column, and it says 4. That means that's where, and I like this part, I do like this a lot, that's where the ball was kicked to. So if they were kicking this way, they would have fielded it on the 4. Okay, now and then kick returns. We're going to roll another dice with this one here. Kick returns, we're going to go over to the New England kick returner. First, we're going to roll 2 dice to see which returner it is. 44. We go down to their kick returners. The first guy's not him, and Thompson is the second guy. He's a 53, and he's a S. Okay. So now we're going to roll this 23. So we're going to go to his column, which I said was a S. Okay, and we're going to go down to 23. Wouldn't you happen to know it? I hit a breakaway. Well, say it was 24, it would be 21-yard return. You move your thing out 21 yards. But it's a breakaway. Might as well explain it while it's here, since I hit it right on the button. Okay, we go back to Thompson, and we see that his breakaway rating is a D. Okay? Now, I always have a hard time finding the breakaway rating. And here it is. The breakaway table. So now I'm going to explain this dice to you here in a second. So now we go to the breakaway table. He's a D. We roll 2, 34. We go down here to 34. We go over to the D column, and it says 30 plus. That plus means 1 die. So that's a 36-yard return he would have gotten that time. And then he runs out of bounds because of that. I roll this extra die here because on the plays, it's in the game, the 1 means the play is going to go out of bounds. 6, it's going to say at the end of the play, you're going to check for a penalty. Okay, and we'll say that was a penalty. He ran his 36 yards out, and it was a penalty. So we're going to go to the penalty chart. Okay, and we're going to go 62. And then we're going to go down here in 62, and we're going to see that it was offense. We'll go across the top, and on the receiving, or no, what was it? Yeah, that's offense. 62, that'll be the receiving team. And they're going to get a 15-yard face mask penalty. I don't know why that is. It's the return team. It's 15. So it is a 15-yard face mask. He must have put his hand up in the guy's mask. So you get the penalty, mark off your plays. So, wait a minute. Excuse me. What was that? 62. Let's back it up here. 62 is 01. The first thing, or 01. All right, they're the offense right now. So we would go over here to the chart, and there's the penalties. They are an 02 and a D1. So that would be a penalty. If it was a 03, that would not have been a penalty. Equal to or lower, it makes the penalty. So that's how, but what I like is that sometimes when you do the roll, you don't have to, there is no penalty. It's like the referees did a review or something and declared no penalty. Okay, we're going to throw some dice here now. I'll do first I'll do it using this chart both ways. Okay, we're going to throw 4 dice this time. These 2 will determine the offensive play. This will call the defensive, and this, of course, 1 and 6. So we go like this. And it's 53, and say it's first down, 53. He's coming off passing. 2 on first down, they're playing normal, and the 5's not going to do nothing for us. So the first thing we're going to do is passing. Okay, get the passing table out here, and we're going to go to Bledsoe. His rating is a J. Now we're going to go over here to the Buffalo defense. In his pass, there's 0, so there's no change. If it had been like a 1, you would go backwards. H-I-J, you know, H-I, back to I. If it was a -1, you would go to the right, to J-K. But there's none for this one. So we're going to go to the J chart on the passing table to see if it's completed. J15, we go to J, go down to 15, and it's completed. Now we're going to find out. Sometimes I throw 6 dice, and I'll show you why. We're going to be doing these. We're going to find out who received it and what his yardage was. That's why I added an extra dice into this game. There's 5 that comes with it. Okay, so we're looking at 42. I'm going to go up here to the receiver. 42, that would be Leroy Thompson. He's an X. Okay, then we're going to say this is there's a possible penalty on this play, as you can see. 55. So we're going to go to the receiving chart. We're going to go to X. We're going to go down to 55. And it's 10 plus. So that'd be 10 yards plus 1 die. So 14 yards. And that's how the receiving works. Now, and then we go check for the penalty like we just did, okay? But now, let's say that, we'll cut it down on the number of dice we're throwing here. Say that, we're gonna say that Bledsoe's coming out passing, okay? I'm gonna throw 4. The defensive, I'm not gonna use this chart this time. I'm calling it. And then this is the defense, and of course the out of bounds and so forth. So we're gonna go here, Bledsoe's passing. Class is going to go out of bounds. We know that he's a J because we just checked it, so we're going to go J13. We've already made, so I already cut down on the number of rolls just by doing that. J13 completed. If it would have been a J12, it would have been completed, then a possible fumble, and then there's a procedure for checking fumbles. If you fumble, and who recovered it in that, and it went out of bounds, I'd mark off half a play. Okay, so but he completed it, and then we would go back to the other, you know, you can roll 4 if you want to. The other one, where we're going to find out who's getting it, 65. The 65 here is Marion Butts. He's a Y. Okay, so we're going to go to Marion Butts as Y, and then we threw a 13 for him. Oh, W, where you at? Y. Here it is. So that's a 1 yard plus whatever one die is. So it could be up to 7 yards. That's passing. Okay, let's do a run play. And okay, we're using this chart again over here. We throw these 4 here, and 31, and it's first down. Okay, so we're going to do a run play. And the run, there's nothing happening here on these 2 dice because they're playing in normal. There's no adjustments. But if there was like a keyed on it, that would adjust the runner's rushing and modified charts down in here. That would be a modification. So run, but who's running? 31. We're going to go up here to see who's 31. That's Marion Butts, and he's a T. Okay. So now it's going to only require 1 more because we ought to figure it out who's running it. And so he's 15. He's a T15. Going to T15. That's a 5 yard gain. Okay, and then you know, again, if you want to don't want to use this part here and you want to call it on your own, you would call it and say, okay, you can do it 1 of 2 ways. You can say this is going to be a run play to Kevin Turner, or you can do the dice to determine who the run is. I like doing the dice to determine who the run is, then I won't always be picking on the same guy. Okay, so we're going to say a run that's going to go out of bounds. They are keying on the runner this time. The run is going to be 43. We go up here and we see that that's Leroy Thompson. Okay, Leroy Thompson is an S. Okay, so now they are, I can't see this, they are keying. That's going to take the ball carrier -2 to the modified rushing grade. Okay, so they already got a rush, a -2, Buffalo does. So that's going to take Thompson back to, -2, it's STU. And then he's got 2 more for me, STUVW. So he's going to be a W. You can see how these alphabets are on there all the time. And then he's going to be a W on the roll. 12. W, 2 yard gain. And that kind of makes sense because they were keying on him and so forth. That's the basics of the game of how it works. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. There's sacks and defense and fumbles and all of that are in the game, and there's ways to figure them out. But using the charts, that's pretty much, I showed you pretty much how to do it. I ain't showed you how to figure out all the stuff on here. That would take a little bit more time than I want to. Okay, but let's get rid of the charts. And as usual, when there's a game, you guys have been following me, that has facts, I order the facts. Okay, now, this is one of the things that's disturbing to me. Now we're not going to use the A, B, C, D's, and E's, and we're going to use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, and 6, and 7s, with 1 being the best, and whatever goes up to 26 up there, okay? So here's what we're going to do, all right? Here's what I've been doing, all right? I've still been using the charts over there. And I've been using both there. So we're going to say that we throw this here, but it comes out a lot easier, okay? This is 42 on first down. He's passing on first down. Possible penalty. We won't go through explaining that. And they're playing pass. So that's going to adjust the quarterback's rating when they're playing pass, and that makes sense too. The quarterback's rating is going to be -2. So Bledsoe is a 17. Minus goes to the right. 18, 19. You're going to flip over your first fact. You're going to look right here, and right off the bat, see S1. This is a sack check. Okay, this is S6 sack. So you're going to go over here. You're going to check Bledsoe's sack rating, which is an S1. Buffalo's sack, defensive sack is -1. So it's going to move him up 1, so he's going to be an S2. Okay, it's S6. It's not a sack. Bledsoe's running. So we'll go up here to the running section and find Bledsoe's Z, then there's a Z. And because we were playing pass. Let's see what it does to that, because he's running now. His offensive grading is +2, so it goes the other way. So Bledsoe's now going to be, I mean, he's a 1, okay? And so he's going to be going backwards, he's going to be a 3, I guess. That one screwed me up. So we're going to go there. Oh, 3. Now, I don't even have to roll the dice. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? He's a 3. Flip off over to the next fact. Go down here, 1 through 3, -1 yard. Okay, so that's pretty simple like that. Okay, and then you can actually cut it down even more. If you want to say I'm still gonna let them pick the runners. So I'm gonna say, okay, this is a run, Marion Butts, 2nd down. No, I'm gonna let them pick the runners. Okay, 62. It's a run to Kevin Turner, who's an 8. Buffalo has a rush defense of -2, so that makes Turner a 10. We turn it over on the run, a 10. It's a 3-yard gain. Okay. Kickoffs that I explained to you, well, and this works the same way with passing, okay? Like I showed you on that one. Here's one. If the pass had been completed, we put that down there. We find out who the receiver is. 62, we'll say that's just keeping the same way. We go up here, and that would be Ray Gridiron. He's a 9. They got a 0 pass, so he stays a 9. You flip it over. Receiving 1 through 12 is a 10 plus 1 die roll. Now, if you want to get away from even throwing a lot of dice, you can see what these are down here. You can use these two as the 2 dice roll, and this is your single dice roll. And then if there is a penalty check, if that's a 6, it's a penalty check, it would be a D2, a defensive 2 one. So then you would flip it over, and you would say, okay, it was on a run. You'd go down to defensive run, encroachment, 5 yards. Simple, not having to use that chart at all. Pretty quick, a lot quicker. All right. Kickoffs. Same thing. We're going to say Buffalo kicked off again, and this is Christie with a B. Okay, we're going to go over here. Kickoff, B, down to the 13-yard line. Okay, and then we're going to say the return man was Gridiron. He's a T. You go over here, flip the next card, go over to kick return. There's punt, kick return. Go down to T, and he returned at 15 yards. Okay, we're going to say Buffalo's punters punting. Chris Moore is an R. Okay, go over to the punt column. R, 40. 40-yard punt. Then you do the same thing for the return. Okay, by find out there's a, we'll say he's a F. You go over here to the kick return, F, and then 40, well, he got a 40-yard kick return. Pretty nice. Here's his punts. This is punts. You see the pink there? That's a fair catch. Okay, I think I have explained just about everything there is to explain. That I can trying to keep it simple. Sure, there's a lot more things you're going to have to learn in there, you know. And I hope you like this video. Go down and hit that like button. And subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Oh, by some news, man, we hit 300 subscribers this morning. Crazy. All right. So that's it for this game. If you have any questions, put them in the remarks section for me. And I'll do what I can to figure it out. This, you know, I'm trying to get better at doing demos. I hope this one worked for you. So this is SoCal Saber signing off. Until you hear me or see me again, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.